Well, I remember, I was talking to John about this earlier. John came to my office one day, I think with Irene Walters, and they were raising money for some trees along Plymouth Street, which is a nice project, but I said what we're going to do is like this, it'll take us 2 centuries to get this park built. And John agreed that we ought to step up the effort, increase our vision, and increase the amount of money that we're going to collect to make it happen. So we had 3 principal donors that stepped up. And by the way, I think our fundraising efforts, one of the things that came out of one of these with John was the idea that instead of trying to do this all at once, we do it in phases. And it turned out there were 4 phases of the effort to build the park. So the first phase was right down here on to the west side of Plymouth Street, and I think we have to jump across the street to phase 2 and up this way to phase 3 and back over here to phase 4. And the theory was that if we could get one of these phases going, then it would encourage others to step up and contribute. We had 3 major contributors: Lincoln, the Bollinger Foundation, and English Partner Mitchell. And they, in the 4-phase effort, put up each about $1.5 million. So we had $4.5 million from 3 donors. And that was the kind of leadership that we needed from the private sector. At the same time, Paul Helmke, by this time, was mayor, and he was building on what Lynn started, and that is raising money from the public sector side to fulfill its obligation. The theory was that public monies would go toward the alleviating of the flood situation in this part of Fort Wayne. We felt that was a public sector responsibility, and the public monies ought to be spent to make that happen. So that land acquisition, demolition of the old buildings that were here, to put the property in shape for the private sector to come in and build out the park. So that's how the labor was divided between the public and private sectors. We first started in the demolition in the fall of 1993, and we finished phase 4, I think Jeff, you told me today, in 1999. So we got all done, and this is what we got today. So I will say this project is a testimony to the fact that when we in Fort Wayne can all get together with the same goal in mind, and we don't care who gets the credit, we're all working for a common aim, and people collaborate and share. When you can do that, we can accomplish a lot. And this part is a testimony, I think, to that kind of cooperation involving Democrats, Republicans, private sector, public sector, and people of all shapes and sizes and so forth around the community. Because the fundraising for this was broad-based, corporations, foundations. We sold bricks, we sold almost anything you could sell to earn a few bucks. And we made it happen. So it was, for me, it was a special thing to be part of, and it's nice to be able to look at this facility and know you have a part to play in it. I would say one more thing. thank you all for that award. But my wife debated whether she was going to come here with me tonight. Our son is up, so she's taking him to dinner. But she told me, and I didn't know this was coming, she told me not too long ago, I'm not going to attend any more dinners where you're honored. So she will be most delighted that she didn't come. I have to witness it. A couple occasions, whoever was doing the honoring decided to invite her. And so those ones we get. So I'll put there and let Dan Seitz, the magician of our political environment in Indianapolis, to tell you about his work.